That would be very confusing.
What is she talking about?
It's live. Skynet is up. Welcome to Trendy today.
This is Trendy.
We're here to talk about two products. Here to talk about the Apple Watch 4 series in its older models. And we're here to talk about the iPhone XR. XR, not XS or XTV.
It's like so many
Max
names.
Pro.
X-Man Max.
We're not. But anyway, we're here to talk about Apple Watch Series 4. So Apple Watch Series 4 came out it came out like a month or two ago. The Nike version, for some reason, came out like 2 weeks later. The Nike watch doesn't do anything other than what the other Apple Watch 4 series does. All it does has some nice Nike faces that you can't get in the other Apple Watches. So it doesn't do anything.
That's the only difference?
Yeah, nothing magical. The last versions of the Apple Watches did the exact same Nike versions versus the regular did the exact same thing. Is this a face?
And that's your second Apple or Nike Apple Watch?
Yeah,
version?
so
I
had the Series 3 Nike watch. I liked it a lot. Again, it didn't do anything better. At first, I thought that the Nike Run app and the Nike Training app only works with the Nike watch. That is not true. My friends here that have the older models, they could download the Nike Training app and the Nike Run apps too on their watch because they both have that type of quality in their watch. Charles, you have
I got the third generation.
The third generation. Now, mine's a cell phone, so I don't need has the cell phone thing. The thing now with the newer version, we'll take a close up. The older ones that had the cell phone service had like a red dot. They cleaned that up and did just like kind of a not red silhouette.
Like a highlight.
It was like red dot.
Yeah,
I was like, why did they do that?
I didn't like that junk.
So to tell you if it had a cell signal or not. So Charles, do you have the cell signal one? You just have the regular
because
one?
I'm never without my phone, like ever. Like even when I'm working out or whatever the case may be, I got my phone with me because I'm using that to listen to my music or whatever the case may be. It's just that I just keep it on me. So
yeah.
I never have a reason to not be kind of near my phone. So I just didn't feel like coughing up the money for that extra service.
I feel you there.
Yeah, I cough up the extra service because when I got the first one, when I got the Apple Watch 3 and I decided to get the 4, I was like, I like sometimes leaving my phone by itself. Yeah. It's almost like this makes you kind of not be on your phone as much.
Yeah, I can see that.
And there's only so many things you can see in here, and you can be very selective. So you could say, like with the other Apple Watches, you could say, I don't want to see notifications. So for instance, I could do it here, only receive phone calls and listen to music. It may be, that's it. So I could turn off the text messages and don't notify me. So that's cool. So it's a way, to me, I feel like Apple created a way. It's kind of weird. You pay over $400 just to stay away from your phone.
Right.
That's crazy. You should just stay away from being on your phone too much. But I like the fact that you could kind of get away but not get away.
Right.
I could go on a run, and if somebody really important needs to contact me, they could call me. Which is usually I just have it set for just my wife to call me or something like an emergency or like that. Same thing, like my job notifications, I don't put on the Apple Watch. I don't want to be seeing job stuff pop up all the time on my Apple Watch. So very selective stuff.
All right, so one thing that I'm noticing just by looking at it from here, I can really notice a difference between the screen size, because I know this one is the first generation, the generation 4, where they actually changed the screen size, because from here it looks a lot bigger.
Yeah, the screen size has changed. The previous versions was 38 millimeter.
Yeah.
And
42.
And 42 millimeter. My wife has the Apple Watch Series 3 38. It looks kind of small, to be honest with you. She's said that a couple times. I think that's why Apple probably has gotten rid of that. In Series 4 now, the new two sizes is a 42 and a 44.
Okay.
So no 38 no
gotcha.
more. So this is the 44 size, and then also what they did a great job. Now the images on the screen slightly bend. They go not all the way to the edge, but they go a little bit into that curve. So that's that's more screen space too. So
that's pretty good.
so yeah, I like this one because I did feel a little bit sometimes like even my 42 was kind of, once in a while I looked at that, I was like, that feels a little small. So I was glad they went one size up, but I was able to try this on at the Apple store before I bought it. So I was like, yeah, I'm definitely going with the 44, not the 42. But I say it's a buy in so many ways. I know it's an expensive buy, but it's worth it because I think it's a way to like, especially if you have an older model iPhone, I would almost say get an Apple Watch versus updating your phone. Unless you like taking real good photos, you want to be an expert or professional with photos, but I feel like the Apple Watch does more cool things than your phone does now. And it's the new, it's the new staple for Apple other than, we're used to the phone. So I think they're like putting a lot more technology into this. Plus now this has a fall detection. So it realizes if you like took a hard fall, which is important if you're running. It will like ask you.
It has like the EKG on there. Have you used that? Have you tried the?
Yeah, I tried it. So that would EKG thing. See, I assume it works. I mean, I haven't tested it. I don't have another EKG to sit around my house, but yeah, it seems cool. So I'd say it's definitely a buy. If you coming up on a Christmas season, if you are interested, hopefully Apple has some sales. Has some discounts, or maybe they give something else with the Apple Watch. If you don't try like Apple, you always could look at other stores too, like Best Buy. Others might provide some more stuff like a gift card or something like at Target. So definitely check it out. So
yeah, cool. Well, I have a new Apple device as well, and I'm doing like
Am I the only one without a new Apple device? I gotta upgrade now?
You gotta upgrade either your iPad.
They got an iPad too, so I'm like,
one Apple device has to be upgraded per year. You sign that contract when you buy your first Apple product.
That's true.
They will come to your house.
Okay, I'm gonna make sure I do that.
So this right here, I've been very eager about. This is the iPhone XR, and I was big about this one, and I guess if we're doing like a review on how we feel about it so far, how I feel about it so far, it's kind of biased because I've been very late to the table for this new phone. I had a iPhone 6 Plus for 4 years. So I had the same phone for 4 years before I finally got this long time. The biggest thing that I first noticed, without a doubt, is the speed of this thing. This thing, and again, I'm biased because I had an old phone, but this thing is like lightning fast compared to what my, iPhone 6 Plus was doing. Like when I have my Bluetooth in, which I kind of have in right now, my AirPods, if I click on this and tell it to call my wife, it's like as soon as it comes up and I say call, my wife, the phone is like already ringing. I mean, it's lightning fast. It opens up. I love the new Face ID because I didn't have that with the iPhone 6 Plus. I didn't have that. So the big thing is lightning fast. The one drawback, maybe I didn't know this because, I was late to the game with the upgrade. I was very excited about the camera system. I take a lot of photos and I try to do a lot of photo editing. One thing that I was really excited about after the keynote was the idea of that depth effect. Being able to change that on the fly, and with taking photos, and really the idea of how using that depth effect, it kind of almost highlights certain subjects within your photo. I didn't know that you can only use that depth effect, or you can only edit that with the default editing if it's in portrait mode. And if it's actually a live subject. So it uses facial recognition. So if you are not actually taking a picture of a real person, and if you're not close enough, none of that effect will be, you won't be able to use that effect. So I was like kind of let down by that because I know with professional photographers, it would be nice to just be able to use that effect with even still life. You know, so, but I've tried this. I've actually tried this to take, I guess like the portrait mode with even my pet dog, and it won't recognize it. And then even with other people, like if I'm not very close up on the subject, it won't recognize, it will tell you, it will give you a signal say move closer. So you have to be with a live actual person, and you have to be within a certain range for it to register as a true, I guess, portrait mode. And once it registers as a true portrait mode, then depth effect editing will come into play, and then it looks beautiful. It actually looks beautiful that the way Apple does it. But you have it's basically you have all of these guidelines, and it makes like an actual professional photographer or an artist. It kind of puts these lines that you have to stay in. So it's like, no, you have to color within the lines. And maybe as an artist, I don't want to color.
But it sounds true to Apple products. That's why a lot of people feel like Apple products do things to like say you can only use our stuff in this certain way from their Mac computers to Apple Watch to their iPhone.
They streamline the services in the sense that it makes it a lot easier for you end users and things of that nature.
Which is some instant, it's not bad because what I've learned in dealing with technology, you will hear us talk a lot about technology and trendy. Most people are not using every feature of what your technical device is capable of. I mean,
I guess my thing is that was a big part of their pitch when they did the keynote. And so that's something I was really looking forward to. Now, at the same time, I think that the default way that you can adjust the depth with this phone, when you fit into that line and you're at the right angle, you're using a live person, it looks wonderful. The shots look wonderful. The camera, I'm very excited about. But it's just that thing, but overall, I think that for me, and this is the one thing about the new line of the Apple phones or the iPhones, they have 3 phones out there for this line. And so now it's like, well, which one is the best? It really depends on what you're looking for in a phone. For me, I did not want to pay $1,000 for a phone. But this one, I love it because I got tons of space. I paid at the price. I got 128 gigabyte, phone with the space, and I think that starts at like $799. And it has a ton of features. It can do pretty much everything that the S line can do, except it doesn't have that OLED screen, something that I really didn't need. And then some of the materials, like the stainless steel, it doesn't have those. But it still has that glass back where you can charge it, from the back. It still has the Face ID, it still has a really great camera system. There's a lot here that it has, and it's well under $1,000. So that's what attracted me to this model. But it all depends on what you're looking for.
But let me ask you a question. I thought the XR came out with different colors.
It does. It has a lot of different colors.
So you decided to go with, is this their black color?
This is their black color. I wanted to go with this because I'll be honest, me personally, it all depends on how you
had your iPhones black color.
Mine are always black. And the reason why I stray away from all the colors is, for me personally, it tends to make the phone look a little cheap. For me, like there's a yellow color or blue color. But if you like those colors, it all depends on you. And that's why I say, and I hear people say this even at Best Buy, they tell people this is the best iPhone. But it's so many differences now. It depends on what you're looking for. Because some people may like the yellow, XR. But for me, I went with black because the aesthetics of it still looks like a very nice, elegant phone.
iPhone XR, your recommendation is to get it, not get it? Depends on what you like?
Yeah, depends on what you like. I think it's a really nice phone. I do.
Or another suggestion is just get last year's model, iPhone X. I feel like...
Are they selling the iPhone X still?
I think they are. Maybe Apple's not, but maybe some stores are.
If you can find it,
right.
Because I think that officially it's been removed from the Apple line, but you still can find some people that may be trying to get rid of something.
Right. So I if you try to save some money, maybe get last year model. I feel like this takes great pictures. I feel like the iPhone X finally, that's the time that it finally started taking better pictures or as good as pictures as the Samsungs.
Right.
I feel like it finally, because that was
Kinda met
especially at night. Like the iPhones at night, the old ones took bad night photos, but now I feel like they finally take this X, the XR, the XS, and all the other different X's, all take like finally better photographs. So if you are shopping around the holidays, look out for the XR, look out for the XX, or any other new iPhones. They also sell the older ones still at a discounted price, so trying to save money, definitely look at those phones at your local stores.
I will do that.